Alright, hi guys. So, I'm just gonna address it now. It's been a while since I posted my last video, and honestly, I've gotta say that's pretty much just because of everything that's going on right now, and just I've had so much anxiety just about everything going on, and like I've been staying home, obviously, like you're supposed to. Only times I really go out is to do laundry and go to the grocery store, and it's just been super crazy, and honestly nothing felt right to be filming, and it still feels very weird to be filming right now, especially with like just how everyone is. But you know what, I was really thinking about it, and I was like, I need to start getting myself back on track, because if I don't, then this is just gonna keep going on and on and on in my head, and I'm just gonna have more anxiety about it, and I need a distraction. And you know what, so do you guys. So I decided that I'm just gonna sit down and I'm just gonna film, and yeah.
Ding dong.
Also, I want to apologize right now, just in case you hear anything going on outside. I'm literally filming right next to my window. And yes, I'm in a different room right now. There's my messy makeup desk over there. But yeah, so sorry if there's any noises or weird sounds or whatever. Lately, I have been watching a lot of Wallace, and he has his main channel and a second channel, and he's been uploading pretty much like every single day. And I kind of took inspiration from him, because he said that he's gonna film once every day, and he's literally just gonna talk about whatever he feels like talking about. And also that if he is like mentally not okay, like one of those days, you know, he's just not gonna film. And I really want to get back on track, and I think I do want to try to do daily videos for you guys, because you know, it's fun for me. It makes me feel like I'm actually doing something productive and stuff. So I just really want to start putting content back out there, because when I don't, I tend to feel just very alone, and I tend to feel just very like I end up feeling very lazy and like I'm not doing anything, and I don't want to feel that way. I want to feel like I'm doing something productive. So what we're gonna talk about today is gonna be Jeffree Star and this whole fiasco with Dahvie Vanity. So in case you haven't heard, there is a whole ton of allegations coming out recently, and also like in the past couple years, about Dahvie Vanity. And in case you don't know who he is, which if you don't know, I mean, I don't blame you. So he was a part of the band Blood on the Dance Floor, and back like a couple years ago, like when I was in like middle school, high school, they were extremely popular. And you know, I even remember like loving their music, and I had like a best friend who was like crazy obsessed, and like it was very, very raunchy songs, and it's not very kid appropriate, but for some reason a lot of kids, not kids specifically, more like teenagers, a lot of them like gravitated towards it just because of the entire kid aesthetic of it. So they were very like cartoony, and like they kind of looked almost like caricatures of people too. That was like their persona on stage. So Dahvie Vanity was the singer, or should I say still is. I think he renamed his band, if I'm remembering correctly, but he's still making music. And there are countless, and probably, I don't know, I want to say hundreds, I don't know that for a fact, but there are so many people coming forward saying about that he like abused them, and that he like roped them in, and like he was a very, very, very good manipulator, and he would go for all of these girls that were like underage. And it was just, it's really disgusting. And if you hear those stories, like it's just crazy to me, and I feel so terrible for all of those girls. And I don't know, I'm sorry that that happened to them, and I really hope that they are getting all of the help that they possibly can, because they really deserve it. And I hope that Dahvie gets his day in court. And that's pretty much the summary that I'll give right now. But if you want to know more, I'll leave links down below, YouTube videos that go a hell of a lot more in depth. But I just wanted to give you like a little summary of it. So, aside from that, our well-known and beloved Jeffree Star, he used to be friends with Dahvie Vanity, and he went on tour with him. Because, in case you didn't know, Jeffree Star used to do music, and I was a fan of Jeffree Star as well when he was doing music and touring and all that. So, he went on tour with Blood on the Dance Floor, and I believe they shared a tour bus. I'm not exactly sure, or maybe just Jeffree Star spent a lot of time with them on their tour bus. Either way, they were touring together, and Jeffree Star tweeted all the way back in, I believe it was 2011, that Dahvie Vanity was a predator, that Jeffree physically saw Dahvie take girls into the back of his tour bus to do things with, and that Jeffree was saying that he no longer wanted to be friends with them, that he's a disgusting person, all this. And he tweeted all of that. And a lot of people gave like backlash towards that, and some people believed him. Then all of a sudden he was silent about it, didn't hear anything about it, and then a couple years later he was back doing songs with him. And I saw another band member who was in Blood on the Dance Floor. His name is Javon Monroe. I think he goes by a different name now, I believe. I'm not sure. Anyways, so he said that all of the sudden Jeffree Star just went onto their tour bus and started talking to Dahvie as if nothing was wrong, that they were just friends again, and like everything was forgiven. And it's, I don't quite understand that, because it's like, okay, well, did you see him do that or did you not? And a lot of people have been saying that it's either Jeffree had a contract that he couldn't talk about it until the end of tour, and then maybe Dahvie manipulated his way back in, or maybe Jeffree's contract said he had to go back and do music with him. But that makes no sense to me, because if you know Jeffree Star, you know he stands rock solid on his opinions and rock solid on his stances. But for some reason he wasn't on that. And I understand different times, different everything, and you know, people change, people grow, but there was still the fact that Dahvie was still doing this. And I don't know if Dahvie manipulated Jeffree into being like, oh no man, it wasn't me, oh no, blah blah blah. But now that all of these allegations are being like brought to light, Jeffree is staying silent on it. And I feel like that's very strange. And at this point in 2020, I don't think that he still associates with Dahvie, but it's the simple fact of people are saying things about you. And Jeffree is not the kind of person to shy away from things. So I don't understand why he cannot publicly address it. Because if all these things were going around, wouldn't you want to say, no, I don't support that predator? Or just tell your side of the story. Say, if Dahvie manipulated you, then say that. I don't understand why he can't. It doesn't make any sense to me. Make it make sense, because it doesn't. Because if Jeffree were to come out and say, hey, Dahvie manipulated me back into making music with him and for me to be his friend again, then that would just add to the narrative of Dahvie is a very, very good manipulator. And I'm not saying people would forgive him, so like technically, but like I feel like people will be more forgiving, especially if you speak out and you say, yes, he manipulated me and I was wrong to fall for it. And if Jeffree would say like that, anything, like literally if Jeffree would say anything, but he hasn't, and it's so strange to me. I'm sure he's heard about this, and it's just, why are you not addressing it? And it all comes down to the fact of it's either Jeffree Star lied about those tweets that he did not physically see it, or he did and he was manipulated, or he did and then a couple years later he just didn't give a fuck. And it's like, me as a supporter of Jeffree, I need to know which one it was. I need to know Jeffree's side of things, because if he is just staying silent and he knows and he doesn't care, then that tells you a lot about a person. And if that's the case, then I don't think I can say that I do support him. But like, I just need to know, and the public needs to know. We need to know who we are supporting. And so I genuinely really hope that Jeffree comes out and he talks about it and he says his side of things, because it is very confusing for the rest of us, and I just need to know. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and tell me if you agree with me, if you disagree, whatever. And I don't know, it's just really hard for me to wrap my head around why Jeffree would not say anything. It's just weird. But yeah, if you like this kind of video, if you like me just sitting down and talking about a subject, go ahead and leave a like, because I'll be making more of these pretty much every day. I'll be trying at least every day. And if you want to, you can find me on Twitter and TikTok and a whole bunch of other things that I'll link down below. And I hope that you guys have a wonderful day, evening, night, whatever you're having, and I'll see you in the next one.